Welcome to County Report This Week. I'm Lorna Virgili, and thank you for watching. Coming up in the next half hour, we'll tell you what the Wheaton community is doing to tackle pedestrian fatalities. Plus, it was a gathering to celebrate the legacy of County Executive Ike Leggett, and $1.7 million were raised for college education. And later, the Glenstone Museum opens new stunning art pavilions. But first, county leaders joined forces this week in the relaunch of a program to raise awareness in preventing drunk driving. Susan Kennedy has a story.
Over the past year in Montgomery County, there were 750 collisions where alcohol was involved. In light of these statistics, officials have relaunched the I Take It Personally campaign to prevent drunk driving and discourage patron overconsumption.
Montgomery County has made an awful lot of progress in the last 12 years, but we still have progress to make. Our numbers still continue to be at a level that is unacceptable.
This is a very serious concern for all of us throughout Montgomery County and candidly throughout America. We have got to make certain that our public remembers that we want all of them to be safe. We want everyone to enjoy the holiday season, but they have to do it in a responsible way.
It isn't just law enforcement officers who are working to keep drunk drivers off of the road. Bars, restaurants, and our community at large are playing an ever-increasing role to limit overconsumption and keep impaired drivers from getting behind the wheel of a car.
The I Take It Personally campaign is a collaborative effort between county government, police, and the Department of Liquor Control. There will be an increase in sobriety checkpoints over the next several months, and more than 30 liquor control delivery vehicles will be wrapped with a police anti-drunk driving message poster.
Our responsibility to keep our roadways safe is one that we take very personally. Everybody who's lost a family member or a friend or a colleague to a drunk driver takes this personally. This department will certainly never forget the tragic loss of Officer Noah Liotta, who had a passion to take drunk drivers off of our streets, when he was tragically killed in that effort in 2015, when he was just 24 years old. No one who gets out of a disabled vehicle or stops to help a motorist stranded on the roadway should have to be at risk of being hit by a drunk driver.
Believe it when you read it. That is that we're not going to ignore this problem. And we're going to make certain that everyone takes it personally and that we take this campaign seriously and you take our officers seriously as well.
In Rockville, I'm Susan Kennedy for County Report This Week.
A new partnership began recently between Montgomery College and the county's Department of Housing and Community Affairs. MCTV's John Watson has a story.
Go. Montgomery College's latest addition to its workforce development and continuing education program is officially open for business.
With 11 new classrooms, including a computer lab, this new training center expands the college's capacity to provide vital training to local government, to businesses, and to nonprofits, providing critical skills and new knowledge to the workforce.
State of the art, everything is like clean and bright and really nice. So this is a very nice area to have a home where we can do our contract training, our open enrollment classes and all that.
The event also celebrates the new partnership with the Montgomery County Department of Housing and Community Affairs.
Montgomery College will enhance the skills and knowledge of people who work with the aging in senior housing facilities. And this class was developed by Montgomery College faculty and staff and the subject matter experts of the Department of Housing and Community Agency, so that the course was tailored to their needs, but also delivered by Montgomery College and our faculty.
We're offering this training and certificate in understanding aging as a service to senior housing developments and communities. Our ultimate goal is to improve expertise among managers and service coordinators at senior living communities across Montgomery County. Given that older residents represent the fastest growing demographic in Montgomery County, it's particularly important that we strengthen our knowledge about serving and empowering seniors.
I think it's particularly appropriate that the Department of Housing and Community Affairs would be the very first county government agency and first organization overall to come to the new Center for Training Excellence to train its employees.
For County Report This Week, I'm John Watson.
Save the date. The third annual Montgomery County Procurement Forum is set for Friday, October 5th at the Silver Spring Civic Building. This is the event to learn about procurement opportunities around the county, and the event is free. The forum includes procurement experts from the public and private sectors and features educational sessions and an exhibitors showcase. For more information and to register online, visit the Office of Procurement website at montgomerykountymd.gov/pro. Pedestrian safety continues to be a topic of concern for authorities since there have been 11 fatalities in county roads since the month of May. This week on the county's Spanish language radio show, we talked to Luisa Montero, director of the Mid-County Regional Services Center, who told us how the issue is being handled in Wheaton.
As in any pedestrian safety or traffic safety initiative, there are the 3 E's, right? Education, enforcement, and engineering. So here in Wheaton, we've begun with the education actually 2 or 3 weeks ago. After the last fatality, we began with street outreach or community outreach teams that have gone out all over Wheaton in the intersections that are most egregious and handed out information about staying alert, using the crosswalks, obeying the signals, and just paying attention to where and how you cross a street. The enforcement piece will be coming, so we're working with both State Highway and our Department of Transportation and the Police Department. So we're going to begin giving tickets to both, drivers and also pedestrians that might be breaking the law.
Montgomery Al Dia airs live on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on Radio America 1540 a.m. The show can also be seen on the county's YouTube channel or on County Cable Montgomery. Coming up next on County Report This Week, the Department of Environmental Protection seeks to aim at zero waste. We talk with a county executive about this new recycling goal. And it was farewell for the county executive while $1.7 million were raised for education. These stories and more when County Report This Week returns.
Did you know there are more than 10,000 county government phone numbers? But there's only one number you need to remember for non-emergency calls, 311. MC311 is Montgomery County Government's online telephone information system. Need information? Have a problem or complaint? Trying to locate a county government facility? Call 311. The call center is open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. The website is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
In Montgomery County, we have a goal to reduce waste and recycle 70% of all waste by 2020. By recycling and reducing waste, we save natural resources and make our community even better. So recycle at home, work, school, everywhere, and keep recycling going. For more information, call the Montgomery County, Maryland Division of Solid Waste Services at 311 or visit montgomerykountymd.gov/recycling.
Keep it going.
Recycle more now.
Welcome back to County Report This Week. I'm Lorna Virgili. This week we sat down with County Executive Ike Leggett to tape our monthly show 101. We discussed several issues and also addressed the county's new ambitious goal of managing solid waste and aiming for zero waste.
When I was a council member, I pushed for a 50% waste reduction, recycling, And people thought that that was unrealistic. It can never happen. We can't get to that number. And we've not only gotten to that number, we've exceeded that number. And so I changed that now from the 50% to a 70%. And we're well on the way to meeting that target. So this is a 30% increase beyond that. Given the way we've made the progress in the past, I think it is in fact doable. It's not going to happen overnight, but you want goals that are somewhat challengeable for you, but goals that I think realistically over a period of time we can reach.
Currently, the county has achieved an overall recycling rate of around 60%. You can see the entire episode of 101 on the county's YouTube channel or on County Cable Montgomery. Aside from books, magazines, computers, and e-books, Montgomery County Public Libraries now offers musical instruments available for checkout. Executive Ike Leggett was at hand to announce that the Library of Things will now have a variety of guitars, ukuleles, and hand drums available.
Traditionally, we've had through the Library of Things the ability originally to check out books and magazines. Ultimately, that was followed as time progressed by allowing us to have computers, tablets, and videos. And we want to now take that one step further, beyond the computers, magazines, the videos, to musical instruments. Music plays an important part of our lives. It's an important part of the educational process. And so young people who are 14 and over, not just these young people, but those 14 and over, will now, with their library cards, be able to check out instruments.
In order to borrow any of the musical instruments, borrowers must have an open account, in good standing, and be at least 14 years of age. For more information, visit montgomerycountymd.gov/library. Residents gather in Silver Spring to celebrate and reflect on the meaning of a special landmark within the Silver Spring community. My MC Media's Mitty Hicks explains.
It was a day full of music, dance, and fellowship as dozens of residents gathered in Silver Spring for the Talbot Avenue Centennial celebration.
What we're trying to do is mark the 100 years with a reflection on the importance of this bridge to the communities surrounding the bridge and, frankly, to our county's history.
According to organizers, this bridge was constructed in 1918 to join Lyttonsville, a historically African-American community, and North Woodside, a historically white community.
For a long time, this bridge was the only way for the Lyttonsville residents who didn't have another way to get to downtown Silver Spring to employment. They would walk across this bridge through this wealthy white neighborhood to employment and to shopping and economic opportunities.
For many residents who grew up in this neighborhood decades ago, this bridge was a mark of segregation.
This bridge symbolizes struggle, strength, and encouragement. The bridge had a language of its own, and it made a lot of noise when I was a little girl and you crossed it. It made a lot of noise, but everything has a voice, and I'm sure it was just reverberating the sounds that people had in their hearts that couldn't express.
The bridge is expected to be demolished early next year due to Purple Line construction. Organizers say they are hoping that the bridge's history does not get erased with it.
With the construction of the Purple Line, the bridge will be not just dumped in a landfill somewhere, but that some portion of the bridge, if not the entire bridge, can be placed somewhere close by here so that people can reflect on the history.
In Silver Spring, I'm Mitty Hicks for County Report This Week.
At the Music Center at Strathmore, a celebration was held honoring the legacy of retiring Montgomery County Executive Ike Leggett and his wife, Catherine.
The Leggett Legacy Forward Gala also served as a scholarship fundraiser for one of Mr. Leggett's most impactful causes, the ACES program, a partnership among MCPS, Montgomery College, and the universities at Shady Grove.
My grandmother's mantra of hard work, education, and a spiritual compass has always guided me. I know firsthand what a game changer this scholarship program can be to the future of all our young men and women.
And current and former ACES students also joined in the celebration.
ACES has helped me as an individual, and one of the key ways of why ACES was established was because of the help of Mr. Ike Leggett and Catherine Leggett.
A highlight of the gala was an array of performances from a variety of artists. And key county, state, and national leaders also paid tribute to the 28 years of service given by Mr. and Mrs. Leggett.
I know for a fact that we're better because of your leadership and your presence. So both personally and professionally, I want you to know that your humility, your intelligence, your kindness, and your compassion inspire and motivate me.
And after more ACES funds were raised to aid the county's historically underrepresented students in higher education, Mr. Leggett took the stage.
But throughout my entire public service, the place that I visited most have been houses of worship throughout Montgomery County and this region. I say that because all of what you've seen on the screen and heard about, I could not do that, accomplish that without the prayers and support of a large number of people who've helped me along the way.
For County Report This Week, I'm Michael Brown.
Coming up on County Report This Week, we take you to the annual State of the City address in Rockville. And after 5 years of construction, the Glenstone Museum in Potomac opens new art pavilions. Stay with us. County Report This Week. We'll be right back.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Welcome back to County Report This Week. I'm Lorna Virgili. Montgomery County High School juniors enrolled in Fire Science and Rescue recently got a glimpse of the program. MCPS TV brings us the story.
The Fire Science program for MCPS students is available to all of our population, and it is a 2-year program where they can learn the basics of firefighting and EMT.
This is a modified incumbent physical exam, so it's something that any career personnel or volunteer have to go through to be certified at the end of the program. Instead of having them wait, months before they got a chance to see what they signed up for, we thought we'd put it in the first week so that we could get them used to it and get them excited.
I wanted to join this program, of course, to get experience. It's good so far. It's very physical and challenging, but it's really good so far.
My cousin's a firefighter, so I want to follow in her footsteps, and this program has just put the icing on the cake for me, so it's just something I'm really excited to be doing.
Over the next 2 years, these students will complete a number of firefighter and EMT courses and may obtain up to 6 certifications. After undergoing renovations, the Glenstone Museum is reopening to the public. My MC Medias has more on what to expect.
Tucked away in Potomac is an art gallery decorated by the natural beauty wonders that surround it. After closing briefly due to renovations, the Glenstone Museum reopened back up to the public with an additional 50,000 square feet of exhibition space.
If you could have seen the landscape a couple weeks ago, you would say, how did this happen? It's quite amazing.
The museum is the brainchild of Mitchell and his wife, Emily Rails. When the gallery first opened in 2006, the goal was to provide the community with an intimate experience of iconic works of art since World War II that would reconnect visitors with their emotions. With the expansion, Glenstone's founders say the goal is still the same, just on a larger scale. Visitors will have the chance to analyze more than 1,300 pieces of art by more than 200 artists. One thing you'll notice when walking through this new edition is the connectivity between nature and art. And as the Glenstone sits on more than 200 acres of land, it's no coincidence that's how the architect wanted it.
We really thought of nature here as the first material. We wanted this experience to be about a journey through light and through shadow. That speaks not only about everyday life, but it speaks about honoring the shadows and praising the shadows as much as you praise the light. And that the two of those provide this journey from one work to the next work.
In addition to the expansion, visitors can expect a new arrival hall, 2 cafes, and a new public entrance. Entrance into the museum is free, starts October 4th, and requires reservations. In Potomac, I'm Mitty Hicks for County Report This Week.
In Rockville, the annual State of the City Forum was held. Rockville 11's Kathy Densler has more.
The state of the city is ever evolving. That's the message from Mayor Bridget Donald Newton and City Manager Rob Desperado at this year's State of the City address hosted by the Rockville Chamber of Commerce. From finding ways to communicate with millennials to the progress of the Stone Street study, even building partnerships to secure Rockville's economic growth, Rockville continues to strive to be one of the best places to live in Maryland.
My thanks to Margie and Brian for your efforts and support in planning today's State of the City, and to the Chamber for sponsoring this. It's a great opportunity for all of us to come together and talk about what we are doing in the city.
How can we better assist our business community? How can we better assist our residents and our visitors, our guests to this community? That is the question that the mayor and council and my staff are constantly asking ourselves.
Diversity is very important to all of us in the city, and the mayor and council have been out in front. We held a diversity town hall last year, which gave us a lot of great ideas, including the diversity of the flags that you see that represent countries that our residents come from. We also have installed an LGBTQ liaison, both at City Hall and in the police department.
The arts in general, just and particularly from my own experience in other cities, other states, has proven, not just suspected, but been proven to be in numerous places a bona fide economic driver.
Rockville is a city of neighborhoods, and I count our urban areas and our town center as a neighborhood. So it's important that we protect the quality of life in every neighborhood, which also means we've got to talk about what we can do better.
We've already begun some of the design scenarios, and we're already talking about where do these pieces fall into the budget. We want to make an action plan to implement this study, which was the result of numerous neighborhood meetings that were hosted. And I got to tell you, it's one of the things that really, really impressed me about the community was the level of engagement. And it was just a great process to watch.
For County Report This Week, I'm Kathy Densler.
Coming up next on County Report This Week, here are some creative ideas on how, for one day, parking spaces were repurposed in Silver Spring. And the rain could not damper this parade. The Wheaton Parade took place despite the bad weather. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Interested in career success? Get to Montgomery College and we'll get you going. You can earn an associate's degree in only 2 years. With 3 campuses, award-winning faculty, and multiple online learning opportunities, Montgomery College will empower you to set your course and succeed. Want to pursue a bachelor's degree? If you start at MC, you can save 1/3 on total tuition costs of a 4-year program. Apply today.
Election Day is fast approaching. Is your registration current and accurate? Don't wait. Register online. It only takes minutes. Visit 777vote.org to check your registration. The deadline is October 16th at 9 p.m. Make sure your registration is up to date. Vote-by-mail ballots are also available. Visit the website to submit an application. Remember, your time, your voice, your vote.
Welcome back to County Report This Week. I'm Lorna Virgili. The Montgomery County Parks and Planning Departments recently transformed a parking space into a parklet in downtown Silver Spring. Parking Day allows participants to offer a fun, temporary amenity for the community by creatively reusing street parking spaces. Here's more.
So we're out here celebrating Parking Day, which is basically to get people to think about how alternative ways that we can use public space.
Well, I had to stop by. This is our park and planning park for Parking Day, and people obviously love a little bit of green instead of a little bit of paved asphalt. All you have to do is sit on this bench for a second and you feel a little bit of the stress seep out because you're looking at trees and plants and flowers and you're not looking at traffic. So I think it's very therapeutic.
It's something that they're not expecting to see. You know, where we're standing right now should either be a parked car or a delivery truck. It's a space that we are not familiar or comfortable with being. When people kind of look at us, why are you standing in the street on a mat of grass on a bench? It gives them a little moment of surprise.
This gives people who don't think about this placemaking stuff an idea of what can be. They see these places and say, well, maybe the road doesn't need to be this wide, or we don't need this much pavement, or wouldn't it be better if we had an additional tree instead of an additional parking space? So I think it's all about getting people thinking about what places could be.
Despite the rainy weather, artists and community members recently took to the streets of Wheaton for the second annual Wheaton Arts Parade and Festival. The parade marched north on Georgia Avenue and was followed by the Arts Festival.
We're celebrating Wheaton as an arts and entertainment district. This is our second year. So last year was a pipe dream. We didn't really know what was going to happen. Turned out to be wonderful. This year it's going to be too cold and rainy, but you know what? People showed up anyway. And it's really all about Wheaton and bringing the arts into the streets. We have about a dozen different floats, and we had about 50 different groups in the parade this year, and artists from all different kinds of disciplines and genres. Overwhelmed this year because we got such great response from people in our second year. So we'll be doing this every year.
Bethesda is serving up a mouth-watering menu of food from more than 50 local restaurants. To get a sample, head over to the Taste of Bethesda on October 6th. This popular festival also includes 5 stages of entertainment and activities for the kids. Admission is free, but taste tickets are sold in bundles. The Taste of Bethesda is located at the Woodmont Triangle, just 3 blocks from the metro. For more information, go to Bethesda.org. And also on October 6th, it is the Harvest Festival. Experience farm life from the 1850s to the present at the annual Harvest Festival. Folks of all ages will enjoy hands-on activities, games, and farming demonstrations. Montgomery Park's Agricultural History Farm Park is situated on 455 acres of land in Montgomery County's Agricultural Reserve and serves as a historic farm site as well as a modern farming activity center. Enjoy some down-home fun on the farm with all-time crafts, activities, music, and food for $15 per car. For more information, go to montgomeryparks.org. And with that, we close this edition of County Report This Week. Remember to like us on Facebook and to join us again at this time every week for a look at what's going on inside Montgomery County. I'm Lorna Virgili, and thank you for watching.